a single leg bungee row. So I'm going to have my one knee bent, keeping my chest up, nice and strong through here. If I'm pulling with my right hand, I'm standing on my left leg, and I'm just going to row in, keeping my hips, shoulders stable. So I'm not sort of using my body to help. I want to just stay strong and stabilize so that I'm teaching my body, my core, my hips, to stabilize the force that I'm producing with my upper body. Again, I'm squeezing my shoulder blade back as I row, and I'm making sure that I don't shrug my shoulders as I row. The Bungee W is a scapular stabilization exercise. So I'm going to start off holding. This is a light bungee. It looks thick, but underneath it actually is a light one. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm kind of trying to take my thumbs and point them behind me, and you can see my elbows and my forearms make a W at the top. And at the top there, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. So I'm squeezing here, and I'm keeping my shoulders down. So I'm doing two things. I'm getting shoulder external rotation from my rotator cuff, and I'm also retracting my scapula using my mid-fibers of the trapezius and the rhomboids. Here's a compensation pattern that I see all the time in the gym, and that is to, as you're trying to retract, people lean back a little bit or hyperextend their spine. So make sure you're not doing that. If that's something that you are prone to do, lighten the bungee. Even do it without any load, just isometrically trying to squeeze the muscles you're trying to work. And do it with your back against the wall, because then you'll really feel if you're leaning back into that wall. Again, it's a stabilization exercise, so we're just working to the onset of fatigue. We're not working until, oh, the muscle's really burning, feels dead, I couldn't do another repetition, because that's going to cause other bigger muscles to come in and take over the action, and that's not what we're trying to train with that exercise. The tall kneeling cable lift, you can do with a straight bar or with a rope. I'm going to just show you with a single handle. But you want to have your knees about hip width apart, really tall in your torso, trying to make yourself as tall as you can. You're going to pull to the side of your chest, kind of to your opposite armpit, and then you're going to push up and across. So this first stage, we're trying to keep our torso perfectly stable. I don't want to rotate my shoulders around. I'm just going to pull, keeping this elbow high, and then push straight through. So when I'm at the top position, this arm is kind of coming across underneath my nose. I'm staying nice and tall, keeping my shoulders square. This is a single arm bungee pec fly. So you're going to stand with your feet about hip width apart, bracing with your abdominals, one arm straight out in front of you, and that helps you see, if you're kind of waggling all over. And then you'll bring your other palm to meet. So my hand should meet like that. If this hand is hitting kind of in the middle of my forearm, it tells me I'm bending my elbow, and that's making it easier for me to stabilize, kind of my body's way of cheating. But really this is doing two things. Yeah, it's strengthening the front of your shoulder, your chest, but really I'm trying to use it as a ground-based, a standing core stabilization exercise, or a functional core stabilization exercise. Because as I pull here, my body, the easy way would be for my body just to come around and turn. But I have to use those muscles in my torso, muscles in my hips, muscles across my knees, muscles at my ankles to stabilize all that. You never knew all that was going on, did you? Standing bungee pec fly. You can also use a cable, but keep it quite light. When you do your dumbbell bent over row, the key for me is that you keep a good flat back position. So neutral arch here, like a slight arch, not rounded. That actually is very hard on your lumbar discs. So sticking your bum out the back, your chest out the front, and then rowing. And as you row, you squeeze your shoulder blades together. You don't shrug your shoulders up. And I'm keeping my torso kind of parallel to the floor. The more you come up here, the more it turns into an upper trap row, and that's not what we want.